Silent thunder. Captain Maya Rice stood motionless on the bridge of the HSS Thunderchild, her dark eyes fixed on the tactical display. The ship hummed quietly around her, its systems running at minimal power, appearing almost dormant to outside scanners. This was by design. The Thunderchild was humanity's greatest achievement and most carefully guarded secret, disguised as an outdated patrol vessel. Vrexian Battle Group has altered course, Lieutenant Commander Jackson reported, his voice steady despite the tension filling the bridge. They're moving to intercept. 17 warships, Captain. Dreadnought-class flagship with escort vessels. Maya nodded once. Time to intercept. 8 minutes at current velocity. The bridge crew exchanged nervous glances. Each of them had volunteered for this mission, knowing they might not return, but facing down 17 alien warships still tested their resolve. Earth's colonies in the Proxima system had gone silent 3 days ago. When long-range telescopes detected the Vrexian fleet approaching Earth's solar system, the Security Council had authorized Operation Silent Thunder. Communications are receiving a broadcast from the Vrexian flagship, reported Communications Officer Chen, her fingers dancing across her console. They're demanding we power down and prepare to be boarded. Standard intimidation tactics. Let's hear it, Maya ordered, straightening her midnight blue uniform. The main view screen flickered, revealing a towering reptilian figure with iridescent scales and 4 yellow eyes arranged in a diamond pattern. Admiral Zexker of the Vrexian hegemony wore ornate battle armor adorned with what appeared to be trophies from conquered species. Human vessel. The alien commander began, his voice translated through the ship's computer into a harsh, guttural approximation of English. Your primitive craft stands in the path of the glorious Vrexian expansion. The fate of your colony should have taught you the futility of resistance. Power down your systems and prepare to be boarded. The hegemony may show mercy if you surrender. Maya stepped forward, her posture relaxed but commanding. This is Captain Maya Rice of the Human Systems Alliance vessel Thunderchild. We've come to negotiate the immediate cessation of hostilities against human colonies and withdrawal of all Vrexian forces from human territory. A sound like grinding stones emerged from the alien. Laughter, their intelligence briefings had indicated. The bridge crew of yellow-scaled officers behind him joined in the mockery. Negotiate. With what leverage, human? Zexkar leaned closer to his camera. Your vessel is outsized, outgunned, and alone. Our scans show minimal weapon emplacements and outdated shield technology. Did your leaders send you as a sacrifice? Maya smiled slightly. We don't believe in sacrifices, Admiral. Nor do we believe in excessive displays of force. Humanity has always valued efficiency. The alien commander's upper eyes narrowed. Your species' arrogance is legendary, Captain Rice. Perhaps it stems from your isolation. The galaxy is ancient, and the Vrexian hegemony has conquered civilizations that reached the stars when your ancestors were still swinging in trees. And yet here we are, Maya replied. One last time. Admiral, withdraw your forces from human territory and return to your own space. This is your only warning. Zexker's scales shifted from green to a deep crimson. Warning? Your insolence exceeds even the reports from our intelligence services. We have studied your vessel thoroughly. The HFY Thunderchild is a 15-year-old patrol craft with conventional kinetic weapons and minimal energy shielding. It can barely defend itself against pirates, let alone a hegemony battle group. Appearances can be deceiving, Admiral. Enough. The Vrexian commander snarled. You have wasted enough of my time. Your vessel will be dissected for study, your crew interrogated, and your homeworld will become the newest tributary of the hegemony. He turned to an officer off-screen. Target their propulsion systems. I want that ship disabled. Transmission terminated, Chen reported as the screen went dark. Maya returned to her command chair. Status of the quantum displacement array. Chief Engineer Okafor's voice came through the comm system. QDA is at full charge, Captain. Targeting parameters locked and verified. "We're ready." "Vrexian vessels are powering weapons," Jackson warned. "Energy signatures indicate plasma lance technology. Their lead vessels will be in firing range in 30 seconds. Maya took a deep breath. The Thunderchild represented 5 years of secret development following the discovery of quantum displacement theory. What looked like an oversized engine compartment on the ship's schematics actually housed humanity's most devastating weapon, one that had never been deployed in actual combat until now. "Defensive screens to maximum," she ordered. "Prepare to absorb their initial volley. Let's let them think their intelligence was correct." The bridge lights dimmed as power was diverted to the ship's unconventional defenses. Unlike traditional energy shields, the Thunderchild's defensive system was designed to absorb and redirect energy rather than deflect it. "They're firing," Jackson announced as bright lances of superheated plasma streaked toward the human vessel. The ship shuddered as the plasma impacts were caught in the energy absorption field. To the Vrexians, it would appear their weapons were having the expected effect on an outdated human vessel. "Damage report?" Maya asked. "Absorption fields at 82% and holding," the tactical officer replied. "They hit us with low-yield weapons, Captain. They're toying with us." Maya nodded grimly. "As expected. Admiral Zexcare wants to make an example of us." She tapped her command console. "Open a channel to the Vrexian flagship." The alien commander appeared on screen again, his scales now a satisfied amber hue. "Have you reconsidered your position, Captain? Your shields are failing after a mere warning shot. Surrender now, and I will ensure your crew receives humane treatment." "Actually, Admiral, I wanted to explain something about humanity before we continue," Maya replied conversationally. "Throughout our history, we've been outmatched, outnumbered, and underestimated. It's taught us to be resourceful and to understand that true power isn't about size or numbers. It's about application." Zexcare's lower eyes blinked in confusion at her calm demeanor. "You see," Maya continued, "your intelligence on the Thunderchild is partially correct. This hull is indeed 15 years old. But what's inside?" She allowed herself a small smile. "Well, that's another matter entirely. Your primitive attempts at psychological warfare are amusing but ineffective," the Vrexian commander replied. "Prepare to." "Lieutenant Chen, terminate communication," Maya ordered. The alien's face disappeared from the screen. "Engineering, bring the QDA online." "Tactical, confirm targeting parameters." "QDA powering up," Okafor reported from engineering. "Quantum field stabilizers engage." Jackson looked up from his console. "Targeting confirmed. All 17 Vrexian vessels are within the displacement field radius." Maya stood, facing the view screen where the Vrexian fleet hung against the blackness of space, like predatory birds circling their prey. "The Vrexians attacked our colonies without warning or provocation," she said quietly. "They've left us no choice but to respond with decisive force. Lieutenant Commander Jackson, activate the quantum displacement array." "Aye, Captain." QDA activated. From the underside of the Thunderchild, a small, unassuming probe launched, accelerating toward the center of the Vrexian formation. On their sensors, it would register as nothing more than a communications buoy or scanning device. "Probe has reached optimal position," Jackson reported. "QDA ready to initiate on your command." Maya took a deep breath. No human weapon had ever caused destruction on the scale they were about to witness. "Execute displacement sequence." The bridge crew watched in silence as the small probe reached its destination. There was no explosion, no dramatic flash of light. Instead, a sphere of distorted space expanded rapidly from the probe's position, engulfing the entire Vrexian fleet within seconds. The sphere pulsed once, twice, and then collapsed back to a pinpoint before vanishing completely. Where 17 Vrexian warships had been, there was now only empty space. No debris, no radiation signature, nothing to indicate the fleet had ever existed. "Displacement successful," Jackson confirmed, his voice hushed. All 17 Vrexian vessels have been relocated to the designated coordinates in intergalactic space, approximately 1.3 million light-years from our position. Maya returned to her command chair. Send confirmation to Earth Command. The Vrexian threat has been neutralized. As the Thunderchild turned away from the now empty sector of space, Maya looked at her crew, each face showing a mixture of awe and solemn understanding of what they had just done. Humanity had just announced its presence on the galactic stage in a way that could never be ignored. Set course for Earth, she ordered quietly. We have a report to deliver. The diplomats strike. 6 weeks after the encounter with the Vrexian fleet, Captain Maya Rice stood in the observation lounge of Earth's orbital diplomatic station, watching shuttles arrive from a dozen different alien worlds. The station's transparent aluminum windows offered a spectacular view of Earth below, clouds swirling over blue oceans and green continents, a reminder of what she had protected. Quite the turnout, commented Admiral Hassan, appearing at her side. The older man's dark uniform bore the insignia of Earth Defense Command, his weathered face a map of decades of military service. When we authorized Operation Silent Thunder, we expected to buy Earth some time. Instead, you've brought the galaxy to our doorstep. Maya nodded. The Thunderchild performed exactly as designed. The quantum displacement technology worked flawlessly. Too well, perhaps, the Admiral mused. Our long-range monitoring buoys confirmed the Vrexian vessels rematerialized exactly where intended, stranded in the void between galaxies with life support, but no FTL capability. Their distress signals have been broadcasting ever since, and every spacefaring civilization has been listening, Maya added. The disappearance of an entire Vrexian battle group had sent shockwaves through the galactic community. Species that had previously ignored humanity's existence or dismissed them as primitive newcomers were suddenly paying very close attention to the Sol system. The Security Council has received 17 formal requests for diplomatic relations in the past month, Hassan said. 3 from civilizations we didn't even know existed. Your demonstration has certainly caught their attention. Maya turned from the window. Not a demonstration, Admiral. A response to aggression. Hassan raised an eyebrow. A distinction many of our new friends find academic, Captain. The Council has decided to leverage this situation to humanity's advantage. Which brings me to why you're here. A8 approached, handing the Admiral a small datapad. The representatives are assembled in the conference chamber, sir. Hassan nodded in acknowledgement before turning back to Maya. Captain Rice, the Council has appointed you as Earth's special envoy to the newly formed Interspecies Diplomatic Initiative. Your unique experience makes you ideally suited for the role. Maya blinked in surprise. I'm a starship captain, not a diplomat. You're the face they recognize, Hassan replied. The commander who eliminated a Vrexian battle group with a single strike. Besides, I've read your psychological assessments. You understand different perspectives and can anticipate reactions. Those are diplomatic skills. Before Maya could protest further, Hassan gestured toward the corridor leading to the conference chamber. They're waiting for us. The conference chamber was a marvel of human architecture and engineering. A circular room with rising tiers of seating, designed to accommodate various physiologies. In the center stood a holographic projection platform capable of rendering 3-dimensional images visible to all species' visual perception ranges. As Maya entered alongside Admiral Hassan, conversations in a dozen languages fell silent. She recognized representatives from several known spacefaring civilizations, the crystalline Arxans, the methane-breathing Volturni, and even a delegation from the normally reclusive Meridian Collective. But most surprising was the presence of 3 Vrexians, their scales dull with what their species considered formal mourning colors. Representatives, Admiral Hassan began, his voice carried by the chamber's acoustic design and simultaneously translated into each species' preferred communication method. I present Captain Maya Rice of the Human Systems Alliance, commander of the HSS Thunderchild. Maya stepped forward, conscious of every eye, optical sensor, and sensory appendage fixed upon her. The weight of expectation was heavier than any command responsibility she had ever borne. "I thank you for accepting Earth's invitation," she began carefully. "Humanity values peaceful cooperation between spacefaring civilizations. Our recent action against the Vrexian hegemony was taken only after unprovoked aggression against our colonies." One of the Vrexian representatives rose, his scales shifting to a formal diplomacy pattern. "I am Envoy Tasfal of the Hegemony Diplomatic Corps. The military action, ordered by Admiral Zexker, was not sanctioned by our central government." The Admiral exceeded his authority. Maya met the alien's four-eyed gaze steadily. "A convenient position now that the Admiral and his fleet are beyond your reach." Murmurs rippled through the assembly. The Vrexian's scales flickered with irritation, but he maintained diplomatic composure. "The hegemony proposes a cessation of hostilities and mutual recognition of territorial boundaries," Tasfal continued. "We also request the coordinates where our vessels were displaced to, so that a rescue operation may be mounted." "And the Proxima colonies?" Maya asked sharply. The Vrexian hesitated. "Reparations can be discussed." Before Maya could respond, a representative of the Meridian Collective, a being composed of shifting nanites in roughly humanoid form, rose to speak. "The collective observes that humanity has demonstrated technological capabilities beyond our previous assessment," it stated in a melodious, synthesized voice. "We propose an exchange of scientific knowledge and mutual defense agreements." Others quickly joined in, offering trade deals, technological exchanges, and alliance proposals. The chamber buzzed with overlapping voices as species that had previously ignored humanity now competed for favorable relations. Admiral Hassan stepped forward, raising a hand for silence. "Earth appreciates your interest in closer relations. However, we must establish certain principles first." He activated the holographic platform, displaying an image of the galaxy with highlighted territories. "Humanity seeks peaceful coexistence and respects the sovereign rights of all spacefaring civilizations. We do not desire conquest or expansion beyond our current colonial boundaries." The image shifted to show the Thunderchild. "However, as Captain Reyes demonstrated, we possess the capability and resolve to defend ourselves when threatened. Any aggression against human worlds or interests will be met with appropriate response." Maya studied the reactions around the chamber. Some representatives showed signs their species equivalent to nervousness. Others displayed calculating interest. The Vrexians remained impassive, but their scales had darkened to deep blue, a sign of suppressed anger in their species. "Earth proposes the formation of a galactic mutual recognition compact," Hassan continued. "A framework for peaceful interaction, dispute resolution, and cooperative development of deep space." For the next 6 hours, representatives debated the proposal. Maya observed the complex interplay of ancient rivalries and alliances, noting which species aligned together and which remained isolated. When called upon, she answered questions about human intentions with straightforward honesty, neither threatening nor apologizing for the action against the Vrexians. As the session concluded, representatives filed out to confer with their governments. The Vrexian delegation approached Maya as the chamber emptied. "You must understand, Captain," Tasfal said quietly, "that while the hegemony publicly disavows Admiral Zexkar's actions, many among our leadership secretly applauded his initiative. Your demonstration has forced a revaluation, but old ambitions do not die easily." Maya nodded. "Which is why the coordinates of your displaced fleet will remain classified until the compact is ratified and your government has made full reparations to the Proxima colonies." The Vrexian scales rippled with suppressed emotion. "You play a dangerous game, Captain." "Not a game, Envoy Tasfal. A negotiation from a position of mutual respect." She held his gaze. "Humanity doesn't want enemies. We want partners. But we will not be victims." After the Vrexian delegation departed, Admiral Hassan rejoined Maya. "Impressive handling of the situation, Captain. You're proving my point about your diplomatic abilities." Maya smiled wryly. "I simply treated them as I would any potential adversary in space, with caution and respect. Exactly the approach we need. Hassan gestured to a private briefing room adjacent to the chamber. The Security Council has prepared detailed briefings on each species represented today. You'll need to understand their history, biology, and cultural imperatives to navigate these negotiations successfully. As they entered the briefing room, Maya paused. Admiral, the Thunderchild was designed as a deterrent, a weapon of last resort. I never expected to become the face of Earth's diplomatic corps because of it. Hassan's expression grew serious. History is filled with warriors who became peacemakers, Captain. Your action with the Thunderchild didn't just save Earth from immediate threat. It created an opportunity to establish humanity's place in the galactic community from a position of strength. Maya considered this as she reviewed the holographic profiles of the various alien representatives. The quantum displacement array was developed to protect humanity without resorting to mass destruction, a weapon that removes threats without eliminating lives. And that distinction may ultimately be our greatest diplomatic asset, Hassan replied. You demonstrated power with restraint, something many of these civilizations have never encountered before. Their histories are filled with genocidal conflicts and planetary destruction. Outside the station's windows, Earth continued its serene rotation, unaware of how its future was being shaped in these chambers. In the 6 weeks since the Thunderchild's mission, humanity had accelerated from an isolated species to a significant galactic player. Maya activated a holographic display showing the known galaxy with currently inhabited systems highlighted. Humanity's territory was tiny compared to ancient empires like the Phyrexian hegemony or the Meridian Collective, yet now they all sought Earth's friendship, or at least assurances they wouldn't become the next target of the mysterious displacement technology. We'll need more than one modified patrol ship if we're going to maintain this position, she noted. Admiral Hassan smiled. The Council authorized production of 6 more QDA-equipped vessels yesterday. The HS Diplomat is already under construction at the Luna shipyards. Diplomat. Maya raised an eyebrow. Sometimes the best diplomacy requires a demonstration of capabilities, Hassan replied. You taught us that, Captain. As representatives began returning for the afternoon session, Maya straightened her uniform and prepared to re-enter the chamber. Humanity had survived its first major encounter with hostile alien forces, not through overwhelming firepower or superior numbers, but through innovation and careful application of force. Now they would secure their future the same way, with intelligence, restraint, and the clear message that while humanity preferred peace, they were prepared for any alternative. Let's make history, Admiral, she said as the doors opened to the waiting galactic representatives. The silent thunder of the Thunderchild's strike continued to echo across the stars.